Why should every home have an outdoor kitchen or at least quality barbecue?
I think most importantly is it's really the one place in a home where you're truly going to get at a genuine level everyone together, everyone happy, everyone experiencing something. I think it's a great way to get people outdoors as well. Yes, huge investment up front, but the resale value when you have something like that, I mean, you're adding a tremendous value to your home.
Welcome, everyone, to today's podcast episode. You're listening to the Home Design Podcast. My name is Adam Kayce, your host, and we aim to educate, inspire, and connect South Florida with the industry authorities within their trade. Are you planning an outdoor kitchen? This is the episode that you cannot skip. We're revealing what really matters when choosing grills and appliances from marine-grade steel to mass luxury design and what most people overlook but shouldn't. All with Cole Smedley of Blaze Grills and Outdoor Products. How's it going?
It's good, man. How are you doing?
Doing well. So we've known each other for quite some time. You've been coming to the home shows, supporting your dealers. And, first of all, that's incredible because a lot of brands don't show the support that you guys do. But before we get into all that and talking grills and everything that goes into that perfect outdoor kitchen, you ready for the most challenging question of the day?
Fired.
All right. Well, who is Cole Smedley?
Who is Cole Smedley? That's a great question. A little bit about me, background wise. So, I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. It's where I'm from. It's where I currently still live. I always tell everybody when they ask me, where are you from? I live in a Marriott hotel. That's my home.
Right.
But no, that's where I'm from. Experience wise, background, I went to Georgia College for 2 years there. Left that, started getting into sales kind of at a pretty early age. I would say even more on the entrepreneurial side. I even tried to do some things of my own. I've always had that kind of spirit and mindset with that. That being said, I kind of found my way into supplement manufacturing, was doing a little bit of sales on that side, but really learning more of that manufacturing process, understanding how to put all the pieces together, understanding how to really manage and all the little balls that you have thrown up in the air all the time, trying to manage all that workload. And I think that's kind of where my experience came in. And at a certain point, I had to move back up to Atlanta. And that's kind of where I got involved and kind of just fell right into the grill world. But a lot of the skills that kind of transpire across industry, that was kind of my jump off point. I'm 26 years old now too. So when you tell a 26-year-old to go down and here's the Wild West, go to Florida, go sell some grills, go grow the territory. I mean, that was quite an opportunity. So kind of from there, rest is kind of history. And
without a doubt. And I mean, you say 26, that's obviously beginning of your career.
Correct.
But the way you speak about grills, the way that you are so passionate about it, your knowledge for the industry, knowledge for the brand, knowledge for other brands, like you are far beyond 26. There's not a lot of people that speak about the industry the way that you do, support your dealers the way that you do. And when you mention the entrepreneurial spirit, what you've always done, how you've focused. When speaking to you, you truly look at the brands that you represent, that you work for day in, day out as your own, because you really are, you have the best outlook in the sense of what you can do to make the experience better, not only for your company, but for the people you're selling to, but also the people who are putting your product in their homes.
That's right. Yeah. And just to add a little bit of value to that, the way I've always viewed my role, it of course comes from, I feel like this is my area to control. I've been given a great leadership team that provides me with the tools to be able to say, hey, here's your territory, go make it your own, go do it the way you want to do it. So it really does come from a sense of, I feel like it is my own business within a business, if that makes sense.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And of course, when you focus on the value of just being able to improve people's lives from the homeowner perspective, to these storefront owners that I get to work with on a daily basis, really just kind of learning what makes them tick, how to kind of push and pull, and what I see at a macro view and be able to apply to a different location. That's kind of what I've always focused on. Never focused on a numbers game. I've never focused on trying to get as many units sold as possible. It's always been just building the process, building that relationship with that customer. And when you focus on that, that's kind of how I've always done it, and seems to be working so far. And, you know, I mean, you understand that it just is probably the best person I know as far as relationship building. So kudos to you on that too. So
I appreciate that, because I mean, really what it takes is caring about what other people's mission is and what's going to make them succeed, and putting everybody in the right position. And if you're thinking about everybody first, then you're going to be a great relationship builder. But, you know, to go into everything, I guess the first question I want to ask is, why should every home have an outdoor kitchen, or at least quality barbecue?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple things on this. I think most importantly is it's really the one place in a home where you're truly going to get at a genuine level everyone together, everyone happy, everyone experiencing something. I think it's a great way to get people outdoors as well. And I think you know, post-COVID, COVID was kind of like this big, you know, boom period where everyone wanted to kind of take that outside. They couldn't really leave the houses. When it comes to the outdoor kitchen, you know, I think that getting everyone outside and really just putting together, it's really what it comes down to. Can you repeat that first part of the question? I'm sorry.
No. Just but simply, you know, why should every home have an outdoor kitchen or a quality barbecue system?
Right. One, getting everybody together, getting everybody outside, getting them connected. Number two, as far as home improvement, when you're looking at maybe reselling your home, or you're looking at possibly renting it out as a living space, Airbnb wise, the value add when it comes to an outdoor living space is immense. And I don't think a lot of people really think about it this way. You're adding a, you know, $10,000-$20,000 setup outside. Yes, huge investment up front, but the resale value when you have something like that, I mean, you're adding a tremendous value to your home. So from a standpoint, if you're looking at it from more of a business standpoint, that's fundamentally makes a lot of sense to improve that outdoor living space. But to me, like I said, most importantly, it's really just getting everybody together, enjoying everyone's company. And that's a way to connect with them that you really can't do when you're inside watching couch on the TV or, you know, going about your business. So
no, without a doubt, because, you know, an interior kitchen is assumed, you know, everyone assumes that every home has a kitchen inside or, you know, something like that. But when you have an outdoor kitchen, it's adding a different dynamic. And like you said, it gets people together. And the thing is, like, COVID is kind of like that benchmark where things kind of really changed. Everybody was looking for, how do you get, you know, more livable square footage without having to do a big addition and being able to do these different things. The reality is you don't need the walls. You just need the space outdoors to be able to create another environment and a place to be able to go other than just indoors.
That's right.
And when you look at what outdoor kitchens do, I mean, let's not forget, it adds a cool factor to homes as well. I mean, it's a whole different perspective. Like, it's a line item that stands alone. That's different. Like it's along the same lines as of a pool, but it's boosting the whole outdoor element. But when you're looking at Blaze and, you know, the industry, you know, you guys are really changing the way and who you target and how you guys go about your business. But what would you say in the sense of like the brand and the products and everything that you guys are bringing to market, as far as what sets you guys apart, what sets Blaze apart in really the world of outdoor kitchens and grills?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, to kind of start with that, Blaze, if you look at our product line across the board, we have everything that ranges from, you know, the cabinetry, lots of different grill heads that target not only a entry-level market, kind of a mid-level premium market, but also high-end market. We have one of the most complete product lines that are out there. We even, a lot of people might not even know this, so I'm going to drop this here, but we do fire pits as well, too.
I actually didn't know that.
We do fire pits. Product. Yeah, so, I mean,
with that new?
It's relatively, okay. I would say within like the last year or so. It was something really just wanted to sample and see if we can expand. You know, as a brand, you're always looking to not pigeonhole yourself into, yeah, we do grills well, but we want to be able to expand more into the backyard, have a more complete product line, and really be able to come to that customer, or better yet, come to that business and say, you can do this whole thing in Blaze, and you're going to have to work with one person who's going to support you all the way through. So that's kind of number one is that complete product line. You really can choose Blaze, and it could be the focal point of that entire outdoor experience, including the fire pit. Number two, and what I really do and what I preach on is that customer experience, that level of service that we're going to provide. We're always been a customer first company.
Right.
And with that being said, when it comes to solving a problem, if you were to ever have some sort of warranty issue or needed a claim, we're going to solve that problem immediately. And that's kind of the way I've always ran my business on it is if you are going to have a problem, I'm going to fix it. And when I'm talking to these different businesses across, they know that and they have seen it. It's one thing to hear it. It's another thing after 6 months, a year, when they start to see that and they start to understand what I am doing and putting myself out there to help them solve their problems. That's really why I think Blaze has predominantly been very successful, especially here in South Florida. When you're putting in these outdoor kitchens, you're cutting granites, you're putting in an exact spec and model into an outfit. So it's not very easy to change. And so when you're a homeowner and you're kind of making this decision on which brand you need to go to, number one, you need to like the product. Number two, you need to have faith that the product's going to last a while and it's going to perform pretty well as well. But number three, if you have an issue, you need to make sure that you're not going to have to go back and change that granite top or maybe add a lot of cost here or having to make alterations because a certain brand might not have been able to provide for you what, say, the Blaze would. And a lot of that just comes down to relationship building at the end of the day.
Without a doubt. And this really goes across the board for every industry, not even just outdoor grills. But most brands, they want a good customer experience, but they speak through their dealers. Like, I've seen firsthand. I mean, you guys take on conversation with the homeowners, with people who are the ones that end up with your product in their home, because ultimately, that is what improves the whole process. Like, they're getting the information directly from the source.
That's right. Yeah. And for me, like, I go to the home shows all the time. Number one, it's not just to support my dealers, but I do want to talk to these homeowners. I want to get feedback. I want to see what they're looking for. I want to see what kind of questions they have. And that ultimately helps me be able to tailor, what educational content do I need to keep pumping out there? What kind of cool ideas are they trying to do? What kind of products are they wanting to see? And at the end of the day, that helps us significantly be able to plan for the future, what new products we want to roll out there. And I know later in the podcast, as we start talking some of these new things that are coming out, a lot of this come from feedback that we've received from shows, trade shows across the country, but specifically these homeowners is where it really all spawns from.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And going back to the products itself, I mean, you guys, you've really found an incredible balance between mass appeal but luxury products, premium products, and very few companies have done that or done that well, because usually it's a mass product that they sacrifice the quality and everything that goes into it, or it's a premium product that is not inclusive. Like you mentioned before, Blaze is an inclusive brand where essentially you guys have something pretty much for anyone, as far as, for the outdoor grilling experience, and now obviously a whole outdoor lifestyle, fire pits and all of that. Right. But what can you say as far as like your grill series? I mean, specifically, you guys have the LTE, you have the professional lines. How does it all evolve as far as what people are buying to put into their homes from the Blaze product line?
Yeah, so to talk about the series, yes, we have like 4 main series of grills that we kind of have today. We have kind of our entry level grill, being it's about to be called the Builder Classic model. We're going to jump back into that, where you kind of have this stripped down product. You have the same grade, same quality stainless steel, still something that's going to be long lasting, still going to have the lifetime warranty on it. Every single one of those products from stainless steel we have is lifetime. And as you kind of move up through, I guess, into the premium bracket, we're adding some of these cool features, such as like the ceramic rear burner for rotisserie cooking. You're adding some lights. You're adding some safety features as far as when you turn the knobs on, they illuminate red. So a lot of these kind of cool, and we talk about this a little bit. Yeah, there's an element to that backyard where not only does it bring people together, but you want to have that kind of little bit of flash to it, right? A little bit of pizzazz. And as you kind of look through the Blaze product line, we add a little bit more to as far as performance in the grills, and we do that by increasing the gauge of stainless steels, increasing the thickness of cooking grates, adding some more features. But as you kind of run through the Builder Classic model being the intro into the top selling LT line, even into the new product we just added, the LT Pro model, where you add the LED screen, which is brand new, and now you're adding this element of you're not measuring the grill temp with the traditional way with the gauge. You're looking at an LED screen. You have the meat probes, and then you kind of move into our high-end line, being the Luxe line, where it's really just designed really for that culinary professional. It's going to pump out a bunch of heat. We add a lot more stainless steel. But you can even look across the board as far as our specialty cookware. We do a lot of griddle stuff. We have the outdoor pizza ovens. So I guess the strategy behind it is we wanted to be able to capture that homeowner that might not have that $20,000-$30,000 budget, can still get that warranty, that lifetime warranty, get the Blaze product, get the service level behind it, and be able to shave off that $5,000-$10,000 and still, have the quality with it as well.
Without a doubt. And that's what's great, because it's not like you're buying a lesser product. There's just less features. But you mentioned, pumping out more heat, getting that, heat distribution throughout the entire grill. Like, what are the factors that goes into that? Like, when a homeowner or trade, whether someone's building a home, someone's designing a home, whatever it might be, what is it that they should be looking for when they're looking at the quality of the grill, what it's going to do, but really how it's going to cook? Because there is a big difference between, an introductory grill and a grill that's made well, premium product that has that distribution and being able to really cook your food on an even and high heat type level. Or controlled, I should say.
Understood. Yeah. So as far as like heat distribution, that's actually really important. If you go look at some of the grills that are mass produced, you might be able to find in, say, a Home Depot, $200, $300, $400, $500 grills. One of the biggest differences you'll see between that and, say, a premium grill is that heat distribution. And how that's accomplished is, number one, the homeowner needs to be looking at the burners. Okay, so at this point, when you're looking at building an outdoor kitchen, you need something that's going to last. And so most importantly, you're looking at a casted burner. That's the most important thing. It lasts the longest. And it also usually you're seeing those produce a little bit higher of a BTU rating. And we can get into the specifics on that, but it's very similar to like a miles per gallon in a car, how much gas is coming out.
Right.
So these cast burners are designed to be able to handle a higher level of gas that's coming out of the burner. So we have in these premium grills, we have something, we call it a flame tamer. Some people call it whatever, people have special names for it. In a Blaze grill, you're going to see what's called a full coverage flame tamer. And the number one job of the flame tamer is to protect the burner. You don't want to have cooking burgers. You don't want to have fat dripping down into the burners, clogging up the portholes. It causes issues over time. So that's the number one job of that flame tamer. But more importantly, in my opinion, is it's supposed to grab that heat that's coming off that burner, whether it's through an infrared or it's through just conventional open flame. It's really absorbing that heat and distributing it evenly from front to back. If we look at one of those grills that you're going to get for $200-$300 at a Home Depot, the hottest part of a gas grill is always going to be the rear section.
Right.
And then you're also going to see these kind of little cones that are over top of the burner that just really protect it.
Right.
But what happens is the heat kind of goes up into this little cone, and then it's kind of forced around, and you start getting heat pockets. So usually in those grills, if you're using an infrared gun, you'll start to see hotter here, not as hot here, hotter here, not as hot here, and so on and so forth. With the Blaze grill, you're able to grab that heat and we distribute it evenly across the whole surface. So number one, you can maximize the space on your grill. If you're looking at a 32-inch grill, we're actually able to use every single square inch of that and control the heat. And a Blaze grill too, something that kind of differentiates us, we use a heat zone separator.
Okay.
So between every single burner, we have a flap essentially that controls that heat or condenses it only to that one section. And so what that allows us to do is I could have the left side of my grill on high and the right side of my grill on low, and I'll be able to actually have a huge temperature variation, meaning I can cook my steaks on the left and I can cook more delicate stuff, asparagus, shrimp, things like that on the right-hand side. So the control level that you're getting with these premium grills, especially in the Blaze line, you have the ability to cook anything that you want at any desired temperature all at the same time. So you really do have this extra level of control to it. So as a homeowner, I guess to answer to your question, as a homeowner, what I'm looking for specifically is number one, material needs to be a commercial grade stainless steel. Number two, I'm looking for these cast burners for longevity. And number three, I'm looking for that flame tamer. I want to be able to see, am I getting a proportional heat displacement across my whole surface? Do I have control? Because at the end of the day, these are expensive units. They truly are. And with that being said, you're looking for the quality and that performance to follow that. You know what I mean? So
without a doubt, I mean, people are making an investment. They're buying it not just for short term, they're long term, but also how it cooks. And a lot of people don't really know the questions to ask. They don't really know what to look for as far as why a grill truly cooks better than another. I mean, people might look at it as a grill's a grill. I'm spending X amount and the function of it's going to be the same. But, you mentioned a few times as far as the stainless steel, like there's 304, there's 316. I want to kind of define that and discuss the importance of that and where these different types of stainless steel might be located within the grill. Is it the whole grill? Is it the exterior? Because, also with these grills, the aesthetic of it, not just when you're cooking, but when you're not cooking, and the look of it, to make sure that, it looks the part as well, right, rather than having pitting and rust spots and all that, which some of it is inevitable because, especially down here in South Florida. Sometimes it can get
a little dangerous when you have certain grills that are rusting over time. I mean, if they're not properly maintained, it can create a situation where you really need to maintain it, or you need to be making sure that you do have something high quality in there, because it can start to be almost an issue and dangerous to an extent where it can get into your food. You don't want to have little pieces of stainless steel getting in there, and that's not a situation you want to be in. So to kind of go on what you were saying, like 304 stainless steel, I guess to kind of give a little bit of a class on that to an extent.
Right.
304 is a non-corrosive version of stainless steel. The reason why you're seeing it used in outdoor appliances is because of its longevity. When you're looking at just the standard carbon steel, or sometimes you'll see a porcelain enamel coated steel, that's fine, but you're going to eventually have a way shorter lifespan expectancy of that product. And it comes back to, you're building an outdoor kitchen. If you have to replace that grill all the time, you're going to probably have to replace the granite, make different alterations. So it's not a permanent structure, but in a way you want to make sure you're going in day one with the correct product. We use 304 on all of our products. All exterior, our burners are all cast 304, our cooking grates are all casted 304, our flame tamers are 304. We use 443 on fireboxes due to titanium increase, which is better for heat expansiveness, but still has the same chromium that you would find in 304. So it's still just as corrosive resistant. The higher end grills you're seeing are going to be 304 throughout, using a higher gauge stainless steel, which ultimately absorbs more heat over time. So you're starting to see with the premium grills and out there, that's where you're starting to see that heat output because of how thick of the stainless steel we're using as well too.
Okay. And are there other contributing factors when people are going through the process, and even, for the industry itself, but are there other factors that they should really be paying attention to, in the sense of, obviously the stainless steel, the BTUs, how it's constructed, understanding how the heat distribution works, but are there other factors that are big contributors that people should know to ask for, or really know what their money is really buying when they're going through this process?
Yeah. I mean, when you're building an outdoor kitchen, I think it's very important to stick to the same brand. So I want to go back to the product selection. I mean, I always tell homeowners the easiest thing to do is to start with the grill. That's the most important centerpiece that's going to be in your outdoor kitchen. You need to find something that you like, find something that you like the quality of, you understand what you're getting, but being able to build the rest of that kitchen also in that product. So you need to start looking at outdoor rated refrigerators, which is we could have a whole conversation on refrigeration or ice makers in an outdoor setting. It's important to not just get a refrigerator. If you're going to put something out there, again, you're locked into a certain cutout. You need to get something that's an outdoor rated, that's going to last, especially down here in South Florida. So when I'm telling this homeowner,
because not to cut you off, but to that point, you see a lot of people just getting like an inexpensive, under the counter type refrigerator that they just fit in. But I mean, I've seen your refrigeration firsthand. There's like a suction to it. There's a weight to it. There's and obviously the mechanisms and everything it goes into, because everything outdoors will sweat.
Correct.
And that creates other types of issues. But the way that your product is,
it's the
constructed.
Internals too, right? You're enhancing the evaporator, you're enhancing the condenser to be able to bear with the temperature variation that you're going to see. I mean, it's some points of the year, especially here in Florida, you're touching 100 degrees.
Right.
Well, you're also, at nighttime, it's going to fall off, but we have to think about it also at a mass scale too, across the whole world, really. So you have the refrigerators that are going up in New York, or let's just use as an example where temperatures can get down to like 20 degrees.
Right.
So you need to have something that's going to be able to also fluctuate in the down end as well. So, again, when you're just looking at the whole kitchen, you want to be able to dress it all in the same products. You don't want to be in a situation where you're cross-pollinating brands. It's okay to do a piece or here or there. And to speak on that customer that wants to just put in that afterthought fridge where you're not going under rate, you can do it, but you're going to replace that fridge in some cases 6 months. Some cases you might get lucky and get 2 years out of it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you're going to end up replacing that refrigerator. and you're going to have to replace it with the same one. You're locked into now a constraint. You built this whole outdoor kitchen kind of around that. So you're kind of locked into going through that replacement. Ultimately, you're going to spend, 3 times the amount that you would have done initially if you just went with the outdoor rated refrigerator.
Without a doubt. And when you're talking about this, I mean, we're talking about trends, we're talking about products and things like that that are getting integrated into these outdoor kitchens. But is there any type of features, I guess, as a whole that Blaze offers? And that could be, it could be already be the things that we've discussed, whether it's the quality of the burner, the quality of the metal and everything that goes into it. But is there a feature or something about Blaze that really stands out to you as an individual working within the brand, but really is unknown to the market itself?
Yeah, heat zone separators, and we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't see a whole lot of other brands doing that.
And to clarify, go through that again as far as what exactly a heat zone separator is.
So heat zone separator is what's giving us control over our grilling surface. Right. So it's adding to that heat distribution conversation that we had. But the heat zone separator is what's actually allowing me to be able to control temperature on my surface from left to right. If I want to turn the whole grilling surface, let's say we had a 32-inch grill, it's about 440 square inches of cooking space you have there. Most people are going to look at it like, I have my grill turned on, it's on high. The whole thing is at the same temperature heat. That's not necessarily true. With Blaze, with those heat zone separators, I'm able to look at it more as compartmentalized sections to where I will have one at high, sure. But I can also have one at low. You'll get a little bit of residual heat, especially with the airflow. Right. A grill is essentially just a convectional oven. So you're going to get that airflow coming around the hood. But as far as direct heat, you're not going to be able to, with the Blaze and the heat zone separators, you're going to be able to control that direct heat that's being applied to the food. So right. That's one of those unique features that I'm a little shocked that I don't see that more often. But that's probably that feature that would pinpoint.
So how important is it? So when you turn on your grill, you heat it up, you see the thermometer as far as whatever the temperature is inside. How important is that overall temperature in the scope of cooking within the grill with different heat zones and things like that, and just overall cooking? Because then, you get into it, there's searing stations, there's, all different things, but
right. Yeah, I guess to add to that, it depends on what you're cooking.
Right, exactly.
Searing occurs at any temperature over 550 degrees. That's really where you start seeing that sear effect come into play. As far as temperature control, what I like to do, I guess is the better way to answer this. I use a Blaze grill at my house. What I like to do is I like to preheat it for about 15 minutes. I want to be able to get that temperature up to about 400 or 500 degrees at minimum before I actually start putting my food on there. I think it's a better cooking experience because when you start to, let's say we're putting a steak on the grill, when you start to put it onto a not so hot surface, you don't give the grill time to preheat. You're going to have a lot of juice leak, and that's not good. When we start looking at culinary experience as you get better and more practice on some of these higher end grills, they get hot enough to where I can put on a steak and have that grill upwards of 600 degrees. I think there's a common misnomer that I do want to address here too. When you're looking at a grill temperature, the temperature gauge might say 600 degrees. The customer needs to know, that homeowner needs to know, that cooking surface is usually about 80 to 100 degrees hotter than what you're seeing as the air surface temperature, which makes a big difference. You're not going to see a lot of that heat retention difference on non-premium grills. That's that 80, 100 degrees elevated increased temperature on a premium grill is due to the thickness and the quality of the components, the burners, the flame tamers, the heat zone separators, the firebox being a certain gauge steel. All that is adding heat to this cooking zone, and really you're not seeing that at an entry level grill being that $200-300 product. You're not going to have that 80 to 100 degrees enhanced on that cooking surface. So. Without
a doubt, and to your point, just like for people to compare it to a regular oven, you're not going to start cooking something as soon as you turn it on. You want it to get to that full temperature because like you said, cooking a steak, if you put it on at a low temperature, you're not going to get that sear. You're not going to have, like, if you want it medium rare or however you want it, or, like Pittsburgh style, like charred but rare on the inside, like you can't accomplish that unless you're cooking it at its max temperature when it's already heated up. But when you're going through everything and, there's a lot of choices that people make. In the world of grills, there's gas, there's electric now, there's charcoal, there's, all different types of, products or ways of cooking. When someone's going into the process of what are they going to put into their kitchen, and this goes from the type of product that they're cooking, whether it's gas, natural gas, charcoal, whatever it might be, to also thinking about the types of products they want installed in their outdoor kitchen. How would you suggest for people to approach that in the sense of forget the design, what am I putting in the grill?
Right.
Or station?
Yeah, I mean, the starting point, I believe, lives with the grill, right? So at that point, there are different styles of grills. You have gas grills, you got charcoal grills, you got different shapes of grills, you got Kamados, you got flat tops, you got all kinds of things. So I think at the end of the day, it comes down to you need to understand who is coming over to your house, who's the audience, right? If you guys are there to have an all-day cooking extravaganza and you're looking to enjoy the outdoors all day, you're going to live and probably get a better experience from that charcoal setup. If I'm coming home from work at 5 o'clock and I'm tired, I'm ready to go to bed, but I need to get some dinner, I need to cook something quick, you need to go gas grill. Gas grill by far is the most convenient option that's available. It heats up tremendously quick. You're going to get that temperature within, like I said, about 15, 20 minutes max temperature. You're going to be able to cook your food in 5-10 minutes or less, and you turn it off and it's done. It cools off very quickly. You got nothing to worry about, and it's done. When you start moving into the thought process of, do I want to have a charcoal? Again, are you cooking for a large amount of people? How many people are you usually cooking for? What type of meats are you cooking? What do you like to cook? Because if you're going to tell me you're going to like to cook hot dogs and hamburgers and at most you're getting fancy with a steak and putting some cross hatches on it or whatever, you can totally do that in a gas grill. If you're going to start looking into smoking meats, smoking briskets, longer term things, or maybe more extravagant things to a certain extent, the charcoal route is always the route I recommend. You have control on it. You don't have quite as much control as you do on a gas grill, but you're going to get a better flavor profile from a charcoal, in my opinion. When you start looking at flat tops, I will say that the proper way to cook a steak is on a flat top. You have maximum surface contact with that meat at any given point, so it's going to cook the most even. You don't get the beautiful crosshatches and that you would get on a grill, but you definitely get the searing that you're looking for. So it really just depends on who I would ask yourself, what does your family like to do? How often are you using this product? And when you are using this product, are you doing it for some sort of event, all day event, or are you doing it more as after 5 o'clock work, you want to get the quick bite to eat and off to bed? So
without a doubt, and you have to know the commitment you're willing to put into it, because
that's right.
And what type of cook you are, because if you're looking to get into it, maybe you should try it before you build it into an outdoor kitchen. Get something smaller, but because it's a whole different type of cooking. It's more of an experienced type of individual, but there's a lot of people that get into that, and it's absolutely incredible. Like you mentioned, the flavor profile and everything when you're cooking on those type of charcoal style grills is amazing. And you mentioned the Kamado. You guys have some different patents as a whole as well that makes the product unique. I know that the Kamado itself, you guys have a patent on, and some other products as well.
Yeah. So as far as our Kamado, it's a totally cast aluminum product. Incredibly unique. We're the only ones that have it that way is in the United States as far as the Kamado shape. Most of the time you're seeing a traditional Kamado being a ceramic. There are benefits and there's downsides to that as well. And to kind of educate that homeowner, a ceramic takes a little bit longer to heat up, but once it heats up, it holds heat very well. The problem with ceramic is it's a porous material. So if you have the intentions of using any kind of lighter fluid or some sort of similar product, it's actually going to seep into that ceramic and ultimately change the taste profile of your food. And that's something you don't want long term. It'll stay in there. And any future cooks, you're going to have that little bit of a kerosene taste of that food, and you're like, what happened here? But the part two to that is it's breakable. And so when you need to look at something, bad weather might come through or something might happen, that ceramic can actually crack over time. It can crack over heat, temperature variation changes. So at Blaze, what we decided to do was take that. It's a very popular style grill. I mean, I use one all the time, smoking briskets and things like that. What we decided to do was take the approach of going aluminum. Aluminum does not rust. Aluminum chemically cannot rust. But with that, it came a lot of challenges. I mean, to make a product out of aluminum of that scale is quite difficult to do, and quite honestly not really repeatable. That's why you're really only seeing Blaze being the ones out there going to do it. To combat some of the heat loss that you get from aluminum from ceramic, we had to make it an inch thick. So it is There's all kinds of cool content and videos out there. We've shot it with guns. We've thrown it off of parking decks. We've dropped it in the water for a month, pulled it out of the water. Everything's fine. So what we decided to do is try to build an indestructible, high-performing Kamado grill. You can get away with putting the lighter fluid in. I still don't recommend it. Let's be very clear. Right. As natural as you could possibly get is the best way to do it, always. But you're not going to have an issue if you were to use some of that product. You're not going to have it kind of seep into the material and cause damage long term. So,
and also you guys have a triangle grid. That's different. We
do on our LT series grill. Right. We have 3 different types of grill. We have a 7 millimeter on our entry grills. We have our triangular grid, which is patented as well. That's really to give that professional sear marks. What we've done with that shape is it's kind of got that flat bottom, which is going to grab the most heat as possible. So your heat retention of absorption rate on that cooking grid is incredibly high. We've isolated it to a single point. That's going to give you those black kind of crust marks on it. That's what you're looking for.
Right.
It's part of why you're going with the premium grill route.
It looks good.
And then on our high end too, of course, we have the big 12 millimeter hexagonal shape. It's grabbing as much heat as possible. And that's something that kind of lives more on the higher end market side of grills. So
without a doubt, I mean, every little component that goes into the products has been thoroughly thought out. And for people to be able to hear this and for them to be able to understand what goes into perfecting the grilling process and buying the right product for them, because there's a lot of products out there. And what I love about, your knowledge and what you do and everything, I hear you talking about other brands as well, because I mean, at the end of the day, you want people to be happy, and there's a product for everyone. But being so educated in the grill market itself, like forget about just Blaze, is really impressive, because, you're able to, make sure that consumers, builders, dealers, they fully understand every brand out there.
Right.
And when looking at everything, we talked about customer service. We talked about, what you do as an individual, what your brand does, and making sure that customer experience surpasses everything. Something, and probably one of the most asked questions when somebody's going through the buying process, is what is the warranty? What is Blaze's warranty? What is a standard warranty?
Yeah, so at Blaze, we do a lifetime warranty to everything stainless steel. And pretty industry standard as far as that is, you don't really usually see a lifetime warranty. The true way that we do it, you see what's called a limited lifetime warranty, where it's not going to cover rust. That's usually pretty standard. The way I operate and the way I do things, there's certain little spots, little surface spots that can be cleaned with certain products, and I do a lot of education, especially to my clients that I sell to, on how to navigate that with that homeowner. If they do have a spot that comes up, how do we solve that? How do we get it correctly solved? But ultimately, the Blaze warranty is if you do have a rust and it's causing an issue as far as a physical defect, or even if it's an eyesore, the way I always solve the problem is by replacing the product. I mean, at the end of the day, I want to make sure that homeowner's taken care of, and I want to make sure my storefront's taken care of. And so if a customer is not happy because a product looks or has developed some sort of rust on that stainless steel front, and it's only been about a year or so, I'm going to take care of that problem right away. And that's ultimately how I've always been able to solve the problem. As far as refrigeration goes, usually industry standard, you're going to see a 1 year, 2 years maximum. Some of the higher end brands, you'll start to see, okay, now we're starting to get some more 5-6 year warranties. We actually at Blaze, we just switched our fridge warranty from 1 year to a 5 year.
Oh, wow.
So
for anything to last outdoors for 5 years, I mean, in general, but when you look at, because people are buying furniture, they're buying all these different components, but that's a big jump going from 1 to 5.
Well, it's a big jump, but quite honestly, like that's the way I handle my business anyway. Was if you had a problem with a refrigerator and you're kind of stuck in a situation where the homeowner needs to get it fixed, I was replacing the refrigerator.
Right.
We want to take care of it. Most importantly is to take care of that customer. And so it wasn't that hard of a jump for us really to say all it is putting it on paper now.
Right.
We were kind of doing that anyway.
And you find that your products are lasting that anyway.
More or less, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you're going to get them, especially the outdoor rated ones. And that's kind of where we made that jump on. You're going to see a big difference in longevity.
And when you're looking at all this, I mean, things are also preventable. The maintenance.
Yes.
When people look at the product, because I mean, there's maintenance for everything. It doesn't matter what you're looking at, if it's indoors, outdoors, but what is that suggested maintenance to be able to keep your the exterior of your grill looking, premium, looking nice all the time, because
Right.
I mean, people just completely neglect things, and then they're going to come up and say, hey, there's rust spots, there's this, there's that. Well, have you ever cleaned it? Have you ever done anything to maintain it? I mean, and I'm sure a lot of the answers are no.
In a lot of cases too, like manufacturers, not just blades, but most manufacturers will require cleaning to be done before they can even solve the warranty problem. You need to actually be able to see that the product's been taken care of. And so I'd always suggest that homeowner that they need to, number one, you need to keep your grill cleaned and in good shape. You don't want to have all this fat buildup or all this deposits in the inside of the grill, because over time you will cause some sort of grease issue and it could cause a flare up, and you don't really want to have flare ups. So number one, I think it's important to clean the product just so you can get the best experience with that product. As far as suggesting on how to maintain it, we've always recommended or use WD-40, just a super thin layer, apply it to the outside. It protects the stainless steel from, let's say you have a grill right next to your pool. You either have salt water that's causing issues, or chlorine can even cause issues over time. But if I use some sort of thin lubricant layer on top of that, not only is it going to give me my showroom shine polish that I'm looking for, so it stays flashy, stays looking good, but it's going to protect that from the salt water, from the air, from the conditions outside. So I always recommend that. There's a cool product that I started using recently called Sheila Shine. Does the same kind of result. But maintaining it that way.
They are not sponsoring this.
They are not. I am not sponsored by Sheila Shine. No, it's just a good product. I've seen it actually eliminate a lot of surface rusting and pretty much solve that problem right away. But also, you apply it once a month and it just acts as a protectant.
That's awesome.
But outside of that, I mean, your normal go-tos, if you're not using the product, or if you're leaving town for a week or two, making sure you're covering it with a vinyl cover is always just a good idea to make sure you're getting the most out of your grill.
Absolutely. No, I mean, there's so many great products out there that doesn't compromise the aesthetic, but WD-40, I mean, it's something that probably everyone at home has, and an easy way to prevent it. So talking about, lifestyle, culinary excellence, really maximizing the experience. If someone's building their dream backyard outdoor kitchen, what are the top 3 Blaze products that you're suggesting to put in that, like, forgetting about price, like, for ultimate functionality, purpose, everything? What are the 3 products you're putting in that outdoor kitchen?
I'm putting in, number one, you're going to start with a grill. The size of that, you're either going to go 32 or 40 inch. Typically, if I'm cooking for 5 to 7 people on a regular basis, I'm going 32. If I'm cooking 10 plus, I'm going with a 40 inch. Number one, first and foremost, always the grill. Number two, I'm going to put in an outdoor refrigerator. There's a level of convenience to have your exterior fridge. You can put in your favorite beers, your favorite wines. We at Blaze, we even have different variations of those fridges where we have the bamboo wine racks for wine bottles, and then also some glass shelving where you can put, your typical cans and water bottles, things like that. Number 3, I probably would put in a beverage center. Having that sink, being able to be able to take your utensils, take anything that's messy out there that you're cooking, being able to put it into a sink and be able to wash it off really quickly is probably, in my opinion, one of the most convenient things you can do. So those would be the 3 products I would go with on Blaze. That's a beverage center where it's an ice bin combo, sink on one side. You have your little front tray. You can put your bottles or your bottle opener and all that stuff. The refrigerator and then that grill.
Truly built for entertaining.
That's right. I mean, that's the goal.
Again, bringing people together, because, that's a big part of lifestyle. I mean, people invest in their homes, not only for the aesthetic, but the functionality, how they're going to be able to, live and entertain with their family, their friends, the people that they're bringing together. And we've seen that was a huge evolution, like really, even going back in 2007, 2008, when economic downturn happens, people think about staying home more. Or how can they live in their space better? How can they entertain? Doing things like that. And that has just carried through. And what an outdoor kitchen means to the market today is like, it's just continued to grow. And that's honestly probably one of those priority items for a lot of people who are building homes, redesigning homes, expanding their living space, whatever it might be.
And you said it best, it just continued to grow. I mean, people are always continuing to push farther outside and really do something with that space.
Without a doubt. And so what I'm hearing a lot, and what's really remarkable in the sense of the Blaze brand, you guys are thinking about not only the griller, the entertainer who might not really grill, but yet just wants a great product, as well as the grill masters, the people that are truly experienced and things like that. But like, what would you say is like the defining, I mean, it's hard to say as far as what that element is,
Right.
that really caters to the grill master as well as like the, everyday, or not even everyday, but basic griller.
Right. Yeah. I mean, first and foremost, you're looking for that heat retention to be able to get the grill up to a certain level of heat. That gives you a lot of options.
It makes the beginner look a lot better.
It sure does. Yeah. I mean, when the beginner is able to put on a steak and be able to have a temperature high enough to where they're actually able to achieve those sear marks, they're going to look like a pro.
Right. It's hard to mess up if you have the right heat.
Well, that being said, my first time cooking on Blaze products, I mean, I've turned some steaks into beef jerky.
Yeah.
I'm going to be totally honest.
Well, the reality is, if you're used to a inexpensive grill, you're not getting all of the perfected features.
Correct.
And then once you cook on a Blaze, like all of a sudden you have the proper heat, you're not, because I know, I mean, I've cooked on grills before where it's like, okay, I know it's hotter over here. I'm going to put my steak over here for a period of time, put it over here, so things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like, to talk about some of like how this beginner can kind of experiment and kind of turn into that grill master. At the end of the day, we all want to be the grill master. We have a lot of really cool accessory products that really fit into that Blaze grill. So ranging from a griddle plate, ranging from an infrared sear burner, smoker boxes to add different smoke flavor profiles to whatever we're cooking. There are ways and things that we've solved at Blaze where you can get it as an add-on that fit into that grill, and that's kind of what you're starting to see when I'm starting to look at that professional cooker. They're starting to utilize so many different ways that they're cooking. They're using that infrared sear burner. They're rotisserie a lot of things. They're taking out 2 center grates in the middle, catching the drippings, creating something from that. I mean, it's the best way to do it is just trial by fire. I mean, just jump in there, use some of the accessories, literally use some of those Blaze accessories and just kind of try some things out. Just understand, you just don't buy the expensive steaks at first. Just start small. Start with the local cheap stuff, and just practice with an infrared sear burner, or practice trying to use a smoker box, practice trying to build different flavor profiles, experiment with some liquids, experiment with some different oregano or rosemary, or there's all kinds of ways that you can use to base your products and just have a different experience with it. So that's kind of what I would just lean into. Without
a doubt. And the reality for any part of the home, when somebody's going into remodeling, improving, building, whatever it might be, it can be intimidating. It's certainly overwhelming, and, simplifying the process, giving them the information that they need, really showing what the difference is between the different products to be able to also fit into their budgets, putting everything together for regardless of who the homeowner is truly impressive. I mean, it seems like as though Blaze has kind of mastered that in the sense of giving the highest level product in all different levels, in all different areas, to be able to cater to everyone.
That's right.
It's amazing to see. But when you're looking at all of these different things and the approachability of the brand, the different elements, all the functionality, the fact that you guys can outfit an entire outdoor kitchen. It's not just, one area versus another. And you guys, have built your products to do it well throughout everything. When you're looking at all of these different installations and designs, because you're always here in South Florida, as far as the markets that you cover, and also your counterparts in other markets and things like that, is there an outdoor kitchen or design using the Blaze products that you have seen and experienced that really impressed you, that wasn't just like the typical outdoor kitchen, just thinking about installations that you've seen as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, recently, a lot of what I'm seeing as far as the design of that outdoor kitchen, I'm starting to see a lot more of that indoor cabinetry kind of style being put into outdoor. There's a lot of brands out there that are starting to do really well with that, starting to take that look from, say, a traditional kitchen island where you have the built-in access doors, but they're starting to build in their own cabinetry and their own systems to it, where to me, it's a much sleeker look, and I've started to see a lot of things kind of shift towards that way. Even us on our side, when we started developing our own islands, and that's part of the puzzle piece too, is having different styles. We got more of the traditional island style. We got some of the more of the cabinet style finishes. So it's really just being able on our side to be able to cater to all these different areas. But if I was going to pinpoint one that's just really cool design, it's really is that indoor cabinet that I'm starting to see come outside.
Without a doubt. And seeing how the brand is evolving and how the industry is evolving. I mean, it's taken on, it's no longer just your outdoor grill. It's not just a grill anymore. And with everything that you're seeing and everything that Blaze is doing and putting into the market, what is next? Like, where do you go from here? Like, the industry is going to continue to evolve. People's needs are going to continue to evolve. The more people see, the more ideas they have as well, which is obviously contributing to how the companies are evolving, getting consumer confidence, building, the rapport with people. Where are we going?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. So as far as Blaze, like we do have a couple of new products. As a company, you always want to stay in that growth mindset. We're always innovating. You need to keep catering to that customer's need and ultimately that homeowner's need. They need to start seeing new creative, new ways to see things, new ways to experience or have a culinary experience out there in the outdoor kitchen. So new products that we're looking at. So we're developing a brand new built-in charcoal grill. Detail wise, we'll keep learning more about that as it launches, but we're really excited. We think that's going to be a big hit.
How far out are we for that?
About a year.
Okay.
From launch on that section. So that for market at least. But what we try to do on that front, just to talk about that, I mean, we've turned a regular kind of built-in charcoal grill where, yes, you got the trays where you can load up the charcoal, and yeah, it might be adjustable as far as me being able to get as much heat or less heat on that grilling surface, but we've added some cool features to this one where we're actually able to expand on maybe possibly changing elevations of food, different heights, more surface, more usable space in different ways. Innovation wise, you can even look at some of the new products that are out there. We've kind of changed that secondary cooking rack where you have the ability to do hooks and hang things, or you got places to put your hot dog buns, or you got places to hang wings, things like that. Just trying to innovate on different ways for them to be able to maximize that space. So
I've actually noticed that. Like my parents have a Blaze grill, and I was actually asking my dad, like, what are these areas? He's like, oh, you can actually cook wings and drumsticks, and it's incredible. I mean, and that just goes to show like how thought out everything is.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of funny because if you look at any gas grill, every company, including us, I mean, we have a wire secondary rack, and it's really just an afterthought, something just to put something that you already think is done cooking. We want to revolutionize and change that and be able to actually have it as a usable space. We want to be able to have, especially these intro grillers, trying to experiment, trying to learn new things, just give them ways to get creative is really what it was about. So we're excited about that new product. We are getting it ready to relook at our high-end grill and add some new features there. So there's a lot of cool stuff you're seeing on the market today, not Blaze related, but you're starting to see people put out ceramic glass and really leaning into like the LED screens and starting to find ways to display the heat or show zone temperatures, all kinds of stuff. So we have some things coming on that front too. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And as well as, and we've talked about this a good bit, but on the Blaze side, we are focused on how do we not pigeonhole ourselves into just being a grill manufacturer? How do we expand more into being that kind of that full cul-de-sac one-stop manufacturer? And with that, I'm seeing the market move to being able to buy these complete outdoor kitchen sets, being able to innovate in a way where we know what sells. We know which products people are usually selecting. Yes, every job is a custom job, but I can tell you 9 times out of 10, they're going to go with that 32-inch grill, and they're going to go with the refrigerator, and they're going to go with that sink that we talked about earlier. So with that data that we're able to see from me being out here and getting to know these customers, working at the entry level on that, we're able to develop these new kits and different islands and be able to have these different styles available, from the outdoor cabinetry to the more traditional set to stone to PVC to whatever it may be. We're looking forward to doing that. We've partnered with a lot of good brands too. Everdure on that side too. They have a lot of good new products coming out that are going to fit right in for us. So we're really just kind of catering, and what's next for us is just kind of expanding and moving more into being that one-stop shop manufacturer.
Without a doubt. And with that being said, I mean, we have somebody that actually has flown here from Sydney, Australia.
That's right.
And we're going to bring him in for a minute because he actually came specifically for this podcast.
He did. No, he did.
This is internationally known. But Mark, I'm going to pull you in here, Cole. I'm going to kick you out for one second. I'll bring you right back. But Mark, come and sit down with me for a minute because this is special, talking about the brand and the Everdure brand. So we'll throw you don't need you're good.
All right, mate.
Good. How you doing?
Good, mate. Good, thank you.
Awesome.
Good to be here.
It's amazing having you here. Welcome to South Florida. Have you been to South Florida before?
A few times.
All right.
Traveling with Cole. Yeah.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, we've seen the Everdure brand in our home shows. We've seen the product and the appeal that it has, the ease of purchase. I mean, the evolution of what you guys are doing on a very simplistic, movable way, but but now obviously I want you to introduce the new products that you guys are introducing to the market.
Yeah, so thank you for having me, number one. Just taking back, just really quick. So Everdure, for those who don't know, we were founded in 1935 in Australia. We've been manufacturing barbecues for about 40 years, up until 20 years ago in Australia. And we launched in the US. We've had a couple of false starts, but we've launched in the US about 2 years ago.
Awesome.
So this year, partnering with Blaze, great guys, great company. Cole does a wonderful job in this part of the world. So we've just launched a new island kit, DIY island kit made from aluminum. The grill head itself is aluminum as well, so just perfect for this environment.
But also, it's not only just perfect for based on the construction of it, but aesthetically. I want to talk about this because the aesthetics of this product, and I don't know, are we allowed to release images after this and show people? Okay, so it's out to market. The aesthetics really fits what people are looking for today, which you don't just find anywhere. I mean, people are used to, the stucco finish, countertop, it's all nice, but tell us about your products.
Yeah, so it's clean line. We pride ourselves on design. We believe there is a customer base out there that is looking for something. You guys touched on it earlier, looking for something from the inside, maybe that look and feel, and bringing that to the outdoors. So we've just really looked at the design and making sure it's nice, it's clean, it's slimline, it's modular as well. I think the growth in modular is going to be huge over the next few years. And having that customer base that just wants something that looks, and you touched, to use your phrase, looks cool.
Without, and the thing is, I mean, there's a lot of people out there, maybe they don't own their home, but they live in their home, they love their home, they might rent their home. They're not going to invest to build an outdoor kitchen, but having something like this, I mean, it's perfect for even the seasonal people who might not be using their home or every day. I mean, it is truly designed for and made for whether you own your home, rent your home, living there every single day, or just, using it seasonally.
Yeah, no, definitely. It slots in between that cart, trolley space and that fixed outdoor kitchen space.
Right.
It slots right in the middle. You can purchase this product on a Saturday morning. You can go home, a couple of buddies and a few beers, and you'll have this kitchen ready to go by midday, 1 o'clock.
That's amazing. And for what everyone's probably thinking, like, what does this thing look like? So picture. So obviously, interior, people see a lot of the slat walls. They see a lot of those slat finishes, things like that. You guys have brought that interior component out to the exterior. Aluminum made, looks like slats, obviously modular, fitting together, but you can really build your own. There's a corner unit. There's all different units that can basically just piece together. Yeah,
absolutely. We've got the trash islands. We've got the beverage cooler. You guys have touched on beverage cooler. We've got an outdoor rated beverage cooler in there. We've got any modular island that suits your space. You can just choose it, pick and pack it, and like I say, you have a kitchen that afternoon.
That's amazing. And also, it doesn't stop there because you guys have other products within your line. I mean, I've personally experienced the fans that you guys have, the exterior fans. I mean, you have all these other products. Touch on the range of product that Everdure has and specializes in.
I mean, we've got charcoal grills, we've got Kamado grills, we've got gas grills, but we've always really looked at the grill category, and we have this philosophy of why do all grills need to look the same,
right?
Essentially, so we like to put a complete unique spin on the design, but was playing in every category as well. So we are that outdoor living brand, and climate control is huge as well.
Absolutely.
So you want to turn that outdoor space all year round. So you got to have your heating, you got to have your cooling, and it's got to be that consistent temperature all year round to get people outdoors all year.
Without a doubt. Would you say it's safe to say, in comparison to markets, so obviously being in Australia and here in South Florida, or comparing it to the California market, like, is it a very similar type of experience and lifestyle?
Yeah, it's a great question. The similarities, they're many. Coastal areas is number one. So in Sydney, we are right on the coast.
Right.
Where we sell our grills in Australia is right on the coast. In the US, we are only focused on the southeast and a little part of California as well.
Okay.
So there's a lot of similarities there. I think our design is well received, particularly in the South Florida area. I think our designs are like really well received. So,
absolutely. No, I can't wait to see this grill island in more showrooms. Really, once you bring it to market, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to feed it enough. I mean, it's
a first world problem. That's
a good problem to figure out. But no, I'm excited for it because it's truly beautiful in the functionality, but also the price point. Everything Blaze represents, it's quality, affordable luxury. Like it is, it's for anybody. If somebody appreciates the outdoor, they want something nice, they want something quality. I mean, it bleeds through to the brands that they represent as well.
Yeah, no, sure. And I think the consumer today is willing to spend a little bit extra as well on something that's going to last that plus 10-year period. I think people are environmentally conscious today, and they're sick of kind of buying appliances that are going to die 2 years and they're thrown out and they're just churning through. I think people are becoming more aware of the environmental aspect of all of this stuff. And for us as a manufacturer, it's the same with Blaze. We want to build products that are going to last that test of time, but likewise, we want to be sitting in that mass premium space.
In experiential, because you guys are delivering a product that it's not just a standalone grill. I mean, there's a place for everything. I mean, you guys have those grills as well. But if somebody wants that entertaining space, modular, buy it today, have it this afternoon, ready to cook on. I mean, this is exactly what
people want. Convenience. Yeah, I mean, we live in a fast-paced world, and they just want convenience. That's the way it is.
Without a doubt. And as far as the Everdure brand, I mean, where is the brand evolving? Like, where is it going to? Because I mean, this is a new introduction to the market that you guys, I feel like, are filling a void.
Sure.
What can we expect next?
Well, we are today in 30 countries. So we're big in Australia. We're big in Europe. Where we go next in the US is super interesting. So next year, 2026, we are bringing what we believe is a truly revolutionary line of grills to market. It's going to be with Blaze, under the Everdure brand, of course. And we're going to be fixing some pain points that exist in grills today that not many other manufacturers have looked at, particularly around the cleaning function of the grill. So watch this space, basically. We're investing heavily in new products. We believe at this point we've got our distribution down pat. And we're looking forward to big growth from 2026 onwards.
It's exciting. And I appreciate you guys being here in this market because it's exciting for us. Like, as we produce the home design and remodeling shows, we look at ourselves as a reflection of what's available in the market, the best available, newest innovations, things like that. And what you just mentioned, the fact that you guys are focusing on that cleaning component, which I don't think anyone else is even talking about. But it adds, and it's a no-brainer. But we'll get to that. And we'll support you and feed into the introduction for all the products that you guys are bringing to our market and help support in any way.
Appreciate that.
Awesome. Yeah, it's awesome having you here. And
it's great being here.
It's just the start of a lot of great things.
Thank you, sir.
Good deal. Cole, you want to get back in here? All right. So we've talked about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, if you're looking to grill today, what is your go-to?
As far as what am I cooking?
What are you cooking? What are you cooking?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I stick to big steak fan. Okay, so I do a lot of steaks. It's actually funny you say that. Way back in Atlanta, I'm never home, so I don't know why I do this. But a couple of us at the office, we actually get a whole cow. We split it up. So I have tons of different steaks there, from T-bones to fillets to ribeyes, all kinds of stuff. So I'm a big steak cooker. As far as sidekicks and all that, I do a lot of asparagus, a lot of grilled asparagus. I do it kind of the same way that I actually use the Blaze griddle plate accessory. So I'll use that for delicates. I'll put that on top of my cooking surface. I'll load it up with just a little, loaded up is probably too strong of a term. I'll lightly coat some oil in there so I can kind of roll the asparagus in there. A lot of lemon, a lot of garlic, just add some flavor to it. I'm the Blaze guy. We don't make a pellet grill. I don't know why we don't, but that's the one product line that we don't. So I do a lot of smoking of briskets, things like that. And nice. I'm big on a Traeger. I'm a big Traeger Rectech as well. So another brand I'm looking for as far as pellets. So to give them a shout out on that too. I like the Rectech product.
Good deal. And Mark, I'm going to ask you too. In Australia, what are you grilling?
We were shrimping.
Yeah. There we go. That's awesome. Good deal. So from when you started, you've been in this industry for a bit. You've seen products evolve. You've been with Blaze. In this time period, in relatively short time period, but in the sense of everything, from when you started to where we are now and where it's going, like, what's your outlook as far as just how grilling has changed or evolved? Because I feel like in the past couple of years, especially, there's been some big changes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Mark kind of talked about this a little bit, but convenience. That has been a big shift I've seen in the home buyer as what they're looking for, but they're not willing to sacrifice quality. They shouldn't. And us on the manufacturer side are finding ways to develop these high quality products, but be able to get it there to them in a faster timeline. You've seen some different waves that have come out where people were able to get these products and really transition from that 8 weeks, sometimes longer, depending on multiple factors that go into the construction process for building the outdoor kitchens, to being able to get the same level of product, same style, same look, same quality, but be able to get it in 2 weeks.
Right.
And that's been a huge push for us for like the last 2 years or so. We've been really focusing on trying to be the leading edge, the cutting sword, I guess, in the industry, to pushing this level of convenience and quality at the same time. So that's been the biggest shift I've seen kind of throughout the grilling world, especially in South Florida. We moved down here.
Yeah, without a doubt. I feel like you're here like every other week.
I'm a resident.
You may as well have a place there. Yeah.
Right.
So when looking at everything, obviously, you guys have had the Blaze brand within the home shows, within our shows. We produce them obviously here in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach. That's when Everdure was first introduced to me, where I really got familiar with the brand, saw it in action. But what would you say, from a brand perspective, how it's helped, how being a part of our shows, and how it's helped you guys evolve your brand, helped Everdure, who's been in business for decades, but newer to the market. What place has the home show, really facilitated expansion, learning, things like that?
Immensely. I mean, as far as there's two alleys on that thought process for me, and one is I'll start with the homeowner. Getting connected with the homeowner, understanding what they're looking for, understanding where their head's at as far as decision making, what's important to them, and being able to kind of feed into that energy and also provide that educational level of, hey, here's how I've seen it be done. 1,000 kitchens. At this point, I've been involved in, I don't even know how many total kitchens I've seen. So when I'm talking to these homeowners, it's coming from a perspective of I'm able to get a little bit more enhanced on my side of what they see when they're looking at it and they're tunneled on their one project. Being able to take that information and be able to facilitate it out through the different channels all across Florida, start educating the builders themselves too, getting them more involved and letting them know, hey, here's what customers are looking for. That part of it has been immensely helpful as far as my perspective. It's really, at the end of the day, it's all about perspective gain. And when I'm putting myself out there at your show, that's something I can't really get just by going about and doing my business and working at, call it the top level, I guess, as far as just seeing it from a bird's eye view. Me being able to get exposure with these homeowners has helped me as far as here's the strategies that I want to keep pushing at Blaze. Here's new products we want to introduce. Here's the ways we want to go about introducing these products. Here's what I know it works, and your home show is phenomenal. Does a phenomenal job of this, because you really do take that homeowner and they're able to walk in this building and be able to see so many different sections of home improvement. And I start to see and get a gauge and see different traffics at different booths and figure out where people's project timelines are. Certain times a year that people do, project this, or they need to start. A lot of people like to do the interior first and then they kind of move outdoors. So getting that perspective for me helps me kind of game plan and figure out here's what we need to do. Here's what we need to change at Blaze, or here's when we need to really push. Here's the time of year to go to market. But the second section for that, to me, as a manufacturer side, I get to be involved with so many of these different businesses that you do a phenomenal job of connecting everybody together. And on a different level, I try to use these relationships that I have with person A and person B and try to find these interconnections where, this person might do really well in building a pergola, or this person does really well in the kitchen. How do I find ways to build these interconnections between these companies? And why that's important is at the end of the day, it all comes down to the relationships. I want to be able to find a way to get people together to help them grow together. And when you have that kind of perspective and mindset, you're going to see your own brand, your own products grow as well too.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. And even, from the manufacturer's level, looking at the dealer's perspective, because you're working alongside them, you're seeing a lot of, I've seen a lot of Everdure walking out our door, people buying them at the show, but also you're seeing a lot of kitchens actually coming together, people coming with plans, real budgets, like building their dream outdoor. I mean, you see it all the time. And what can you say as far as, being able to be the manufacturer and watching your clients, your dealers doing real business.
It's one of the most satisfying feelings ever, especially when you're involved in helping that process. I like to think I play some sort of role in helping them figure it out, but it's very cool to watch it in action because you don't really get that perspective. At the manufacturer, you're really kind of blinded a little bit in a lot of ways. You see the quantities that go through or where it's going. That's all cool, but how it's actually being sold and what they're talking about, what the dealers are relaying over to these homeowners, that's cool. That's a perspective you don't really get to see on a spreadsheet. That's where you got to kind of put yourself out there and get exposure to it. And your show has been immensely helpful to me as far as getting my exposure level out there.
No, it's amazing having you guys, and I appreciate the brand's, involvement. And I mean, literally watching you answer questions, being a part of the sales process. And you guys, I mean, you truly understand not only, everyone has a sales process. The manufacturer's sales process is very different from the dealer and what the questions that they're answering, what really matters to the people who are buying it. Because a lot of brands forget, like, yes, the dealer is their customer, but the real customer is the homeowner. And if you don't understand the homeowner, you don't understand the process.
Right.
So,
yeah, I mean, every level to that, you're going to lose a little bit of information and communication from the homeowner to the dealer to the manufacturer. So me being able to get out there and see the perspective of here's how it's done at the dealer level and how they're talking to homeowners. Here's what the homeowners think about the process and manufacturer side of it. I now know what information I need to flow to help capitalize on more sales, help these dealers get more information out to the homeowners, get the right information out too.
Yeah.
So it's been very helpful.
Without a doubt. So we talked about a lot today.
We did.
Did we miss anything?
I'm sure we could probably do more. 5 podcast episodes in a row and we're still going to miss something along the lines.
Without a doubt. But what do you want to leave us with today?
The most important thing I want to put out there is I'm just so grateful to be in the spot I am as far as being able to put myself out, have these great connections, meet so many great people, meet so many different home buyers. That to me has been the most important thing in my personal growth, but also professional growth. And so as I continue and I continue to learn, I'm continuing to put myself out there. I've only been doing this for almost 3 years now. So long time, not long time, right? So the more I get out there, the more people I'm getting to meet. I want to make a big impact and change these homeowners' lives in a positive way, help my dealers grow their business. That's the most satisfying thing to me. So the more I get out there and the more I'm exposed to, that's been what I leave with is going with the attitude of always learning, always growth mindset, always innovating, and just put yourself out there as many times as possible. And at the end of the day, you're going to gain some sort of positive perspective on it. So
absolutely. Well, if we have prospective dealers out there and they want to contact you to learn more how they can carry your product, what's the best way?
Best way is send an email. You can always contact us. My first name, last name @blazegrills.com. Phone anytime. I always give out my personal numbers. People can call me, text me at any point of any day. I'm going to answer. So we'll give you that information.
We'll put that out there.
Yeah.
So for anyone out there that wants to learn more about the Blaze products, get inspiration, get ideas, what's the best way? Where should they go? Website, social media?
Website, social media. So as far as Blaze, yes, we do have Instagram. We have a lot of content we push out there. We actually do use a lot of content from local builders as well. We try to help accelerate or show different areas and different styles from all over the country. Blaze, we do have a website as far as being able to see all the different products, different selections on that too. And we have a lot of really cool strategies that we're working on to get more of that homeowner experience, that whole journey process of more to come on that side. But we have some ways we're going to start pumping out a lot more content to the homeowner.
I'm excited to see it. So for all of you, make sure you check out blazegrills.com or go to Instagram, blaze_grills. So Cole, thank you so much for being here. Mark, thank you for flying across the world just to grace us here to talk about Everdure. It's absolutely incredible because the products are amazing. The company's been around forever, but yet we've only seen them for a couple of years, and there is so much to come. So, both of you guys, thank you again for being here. But for all of you, we are Florida's premier destination for everything home design and home improvement. Visit the home design and remodeling shows in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Palm Beach. You can always go to our website at homeshows.com. Make sure you take out your phone, go to Instagram, follow us at FL Home Shows, subscribe to our channel to get all the latest in home design and home improvement. But until next time, stay tuned for the next episode.